Yo, 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 yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 47 of the Instant Rotary Podcast. Tyler, man, what's going, man?
Nothing much, bro. Just chilling out, hanging out. You know, typical Thursday for me, man.
Absolutely. But before we get into it, if you guys do, make sure you definitely hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button. Make sure you ring that notification bell. That being said, obviously it's been, I would say, been one. I guess you could say interesting week of professional wrestling. Last what's it been, like 72 hours or something like that, give or take.
Last 72, last 72 hours. It's been crazy. We've seen Dynamite being cut for time. We've seen Roman Reigns getting banned from TikTok and unbanned like a few hours later.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of shit in the last 72 hours. So, and actually, honestly, the last 48 hours, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, too. It's like Dynamite, and we talked about the yesterday that Dynamite, and the network and TNT need to figure something out.
Yeah, they need to figure something out. They have to tweak it a bit because sometimes shows they run over time because of segments or because of matches going over. There's been a few times where WWE have matches. Show's supposed to end at 11 o'clock. Sometimes it ends at like 11:01, maybe 11:02, maybe 11:10.
Usually the latest I've seen sometimes it's 11:05, usually on a Monday Night Raw most of the times.
You could run it 5 extra minutes. And when they actually posted on Facebook, I tagged you in it.
Yeah.
That they actually rectified the situation by posting the entire segment in its entirety on Facebook. What actually ended up happening was Dark Order comes in, steal the chair from Hangman. They exchange some words, and then they exit the ring, and then we see I think it was either Willer Yuta or Claudio Castagnoli coming in and attack, and they just beat him down, and then the segment was over. They could have added at least a few more minutes to the show if that was the case. And yes, I do get this is on the network. Like it's strictly on the network, but also AEW could ask for more time. I did say this yesterday in my little rant after the show was over when we did the watch party. That they could have done more with that, ask for more time. Because all they were showing was a rerun of they always show a rerun of this game show called The Cube. It's a rerun.
Oh,
because they end that show at like 8 o'clock on, I think, Thursdays. I think. I'm not sure what their actual time is, but they don't show game shows at like 10 o'clock at night, like new episodes at 10 o'clock at night, unless it's on the Game Show Network.
Yeah, which is. But
here's that's the first thing I want to dive into is what was your thought process going into that? Because I was ranting. I was upset. I wasn't angry. I was upset at the network for doing that.
I was a bit annoyed about that because that's
how I was. That's how I was. I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry.
It's just annoying. Like you cut off.
I was more so annoyed. Like, really? Like, we saw Dark Order come to the ring, and next thing you know, we're cutting to the next show. Like, what happened? Because then you have Excalibur talking really fast. Oh, no, we'll see you next time, and then the show cuts off.
Yeah, it's
like they were rushing. But then again, the only people that were really rushing were the announcers. You have the segment taking its grand old time. They got cut for time.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had to post the entire segment on Facebook today. They had to post it today. I'm sure they would have actually posted the segment regardless, but they had to do it. They had to post it in its entirety because of it being cut for time. And that's why me and you were so annoyed with this. and I have to agree. It was annoying. It was a pain in the ass.
It was very annoying.
It was a pain in the ass to sit there watching that. Completely a pain in the ass to watch that. And it was incredibly annoying. I was annoyed, you were annoyed, Earl was annoyed, Raph was annoyed, our buddy who was always in the comments, Sarah, was annoyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody was annoyed. And I think even Juice was annoyed. Like, really? They cut that for time?
But
anyway.
I mean, look, shit happens all the time. So I mean, look, it's not like
AEW made a mistake. The network made a mistake. It happens. Whatever. Yeah, you rectified it today. Kind of
but like you said, could they ask for it? Yeah. I mean, then we wouldn't have to really sit through.
Here's also the problem, though. All TBS ever shows at the 10 o'clock time slot is either a new show, which they don't. Now, on a random Wednesday, they haven't shown a show. Here's what they either show. They either show the Cube or a rerun of Young Sheldon. That's the only two shows they would ever air. And both times, they're reruns in syndication.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
And AEW could have asked for more time, but the network only shows reruns in that time slot. So they could have bought them more time themselves.
At least 5 to 7 extra minutes, if that was the case.
And then save the rerun for that.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, shit, no one want... Well, then again, you'll be...
Like, I'd be even more annoyed. I would have been even more annoyed if it wasn't the Cube and if it was just a random episode of Young Sheldon. Really? And yes, I like... Yeah, that show was pretty cool, too. But it's a rerun of a show that's not even on your network.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. But, I mean...
They could have done TBS. You need to stop fumbling with AEW, man. You got to buy them more time. If they need more time, let them have it.
Shit, if that was
they shouldn't even have to ask. Y'all should get together in the boardroom. You and AEW, you Tony Khan, talk out this whole show, talk out the segment, and you should ask him, is this going to run over time? And if Tony Khan says, yeah, let him have that more time. Because all you show at the Wednesday at 10 o'clock time slot is a rerun of shows.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to do better than that, TBS. You got to do better.
Then again, though, I mean, yeah, that's true. And there was a time, so you looked at how AEW was on TNT before they made that move. They actually had no issues running over time with TNT because they will bring in some good ratings.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. They did have that problem with TNT early on. Like 2019, they always had episodes getting cut. Always. And then they started asking for more time. That's the problem that I'm trying to talk about. When they ask for more time, TBS doesn't mess up. And TNT doesn't mess up. Because here's the thing. Turner Broadcasting owns both networks.
Oh, yeah.
Warner owns both networks. So that's the thing. Is that they know that this happens. They know. And in both networks, they're either showing a rerun of a TV show or a random movie.
That nobody watches.
That no one watches at 10 o'clock. Because guess what? On a Wednesday night, everyone's in bed because the next day, a lot of people have to work.
Well, that too, and also take into consideration too, like they might be looking at some of their streaming services like Disney Plus and all this stuff.
If they have the same issues down the road and that deal with Turner goes up, I would start looking into putting the shows on a streaming service.
Yeah, I mean at some point,
you're gonna have that issue with a TV network.
And that's the thing too. That's kind of where the direction here's
the thing too. Man, Turner, I'll give him a pass. I gave him a pass in 2019 because you didn't have a network for X amount of years, or you didn't have a wrestling show. Excuse me, you didn't have a wrestling show on this network for X amount of years.
Yeah,
2001 to 2019, that is a huge gap to not have a wrestling show. So
yeah,
I probably get why they struggled with the timing and cutting things for time and stuff like that. But it's 2023. You've had this company for what?
5 years.
5 years already?
Yep.
That should not be an issue anymore. That should not be an issue.
It.
How? You have USA showing reruns of shows after Raw. You think they're cutting that for time because of a rerun? No. SmackDown shows the news. Sure, they have more incentive to cut that for time for the news.
Oh yeah, I'll have 100%.
Thank you. they have more incentive to cut that for time.
I agree
because of the news.
But
more incentive. But here, do you see Fox cutting stuff for time? If they have to go over, they go over.
I mean,
Turner Broadcasting, Warner Brothers, get better with this. Get better with this. AEW, if you need time, ask for time. Because evidently they're not going to listen if you don't ask. So please ask for more time.
But
the sole blame. I did ponder this thought, Sarah. If you're watching this, I pondered the thought. The sole blame does have to go to Turner. So the sole blame has to go to the network itself. All you're showing is the rerun. Buy them more time.
I agree. But
anyway, enough ranting about that, and let's get to the next
sticking with AEW. From Andrew Abrams of WrestlingNews.co actually put out an article pretty much talking about there's a potential spoiler on a mystery partner for the Elite for AEW's Blood and Guts coming 2 weeks from now at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts.
Why are we trying to release spoilers online? Enough. I had to sit there bobbing and weaving spoilers just to promote on social media 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
For SmackDown. I'm like scrolling really fast. I'm seeing spoilers for SmackDown because they're going to the UK and they air their show. They air their shows a lot sooner than we do over here because they're in the future. Apparently, 3 o'clock here is 8 o'clock there. 8 o'clock here is 1 o'clock there in the morning. So your time travelers over in England need to stop posting shit.
Hey, I ain't wrong.
But I'm kidding. But yeah, like they need to stop. A lot of these people need to stop posting spoilers, man. They gotta stop. I know it's the internet. I know you're excited for a show. Oh, I know you're excited about this guy, this wrestler, that wrestler. And you try to promote your brand too, but you got some American fans over here that are trying to dodge spoilers, so keep it on a minimal.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
So if they're trying to spoil Blood and Guts, don't spoil Blood and Guts.
It's not. It's like actually it's. They're not saying it's not like the spoil for the show itself, but it's more of a speculation of who's going to be the mystery partner for the Elite because.
Well, okay, give me the speculations. Give me what
one of the names in particular that I brought up. This dude's a free agent that used to be because Kenny Omega. If anyone not seen that clip of Kenny Omega posted, like he kind of hinted at a certain someone he's very close with.
Please tell me it's Kota Ibushi.
He's been kind of hinting. It might be Kota Ibushi. That's kind of right now. That's the speculation as it stands.
They better not swerve us like last time because last time he said, "Oh, I'm going to bring somebody that I'm really close with." I'm thinking Kota, and it ended up being Eddie freaking Kingston for some reason. And he wasn't close with anybody. I'm like, how does that make sense?
Because Yeah, it was just all about the partner too, because it's like Kota Ibushi. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like the thing with Kota Ibushi, like yeah, granted, yeah, he's a free agent, but there's a lot of times that all the news surrounding him's kind of really just been dead. He's a
Yeah.
oh,
What happened there?
but yeah,
Guys, some technical difficulties there for like 2 seconds. What the hell?
but yeah. So like I was saying,
Rob, what just happened?
you got
Seriously.
booted out.
How did I get booted out?
Your guess as good as mine.
Yo, StreamYard is fucking okay. Whatever.
But yeah. So Kota Ibushi is kind of what it was speculated that he could be aligning himself with the elite for Blood and Guts, but that remains to be seen.
Well, if the story calls for it, then hey, bring him in.
Hey, bring back the Golden Lovers for crying out loud.
I was going to say that. You took the words right out of my freaking mouth, bro. Bring back the goddamn Golden Lovers, bro.
But
that team was top tier. That team was top tier.
Oh yeah, I think it was way before Kenny.
It was like right before Kenny turned heel and went with Bullet Club.
And that's before, when
and then they did this whole story where Kota Ibushi was feuding with Bullet Club, and Kenny was trying to distract him, but he was going to go hit him, and he just held back. He was like, "No, that's my friend, man. I can't do it."
But it's like, I mean, Kota Ibushi's been kind of talked about, was linked to, because I think he just didn't want to stay in New Japan. I think when did his contract expire? What, last year? I think it was. I think, give or take.
Yeah, it was last year, and they started speculating on the Forbidden Door tag match or something.
Because everyone was speculating on that to see Kota Ibushi at the Forbidden
Door, and it ended up being Eddie Kingston.
But yes,
so his contract should still be up.
I think Kota. They say Kota Ibushi is still the top free agent in the pro wrestling world.
Yeah, because it's been fairly quiet in that front, him like signing with somebody. It's been fairly quiet.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
But it also goes on to say, AEW will be getting a big name for a while as they continue to look for star power and build towards the upcoming Blood and Guts match on July 19th between the Elite, Kenny Omega, Hangman Angman Page, and the Young Bucks, and a surprise partner. I will be surprised. Hopefully, it's Kota Ibushi taking on the Blackpool Combat Club with Moxley, Yuta, Cassioli, and Takeshita, and a surprise partner of their choosing.
Now, what do you think their partner's going to be? What is the speculation there?
Oh, that's a tough one, though. That's kind of a hard.
Oh, they're not speculating anything for speculating
because that's a good. Because I could think I could think of a few names, but I know they're probably. I don't know if they reside at all. I mean, like Tama Tonga and guys like that. I don't know if they reside with Impact at all.
No, they never signed with Impact. But Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are faces in New Japan.
Damn it! If they were still healed,
they're not healed anymore. They're not healed. They got kicked out of Bullet Club by Jay White.
I can
remember at an Impact show they got kicked out of Bullet Club. Wasn't even in the New Japan ring. It was in a Bullet Club. It was in an Impact ring.
I'm trying to think who can mesh. Who is a heel that can mesh well with the Blackpool Combat Club? I mean, isn't El Phantasmo no? He's still under contract with New Japan.
El Phantasmo just turned face too because he got kicked out of Bullet Club too. He got kicked out of Bullet Club.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
maybe Jay White.
What's his? Huh?
I was thinking Jay White, but I'm thinking somebody. I know maybe it could be somebody else.
I'm not sure.
That's a tough one. That's a very tough one. But he also goes on to say that Fightful Select.
The guy they were tagging with before at Forbidden Door, maybe.
Oh, Shota Umino.
Yeah, it could be Shota Umino again.
But this also goes on to say Fightful Select that reports that talent that they talk to are of the belief that he will be joining the company in some capacity, specifically for the upcoming Blood and Guts show. Kota has reduced media obligations in recent weeks and cited his schedule picking up in the near future. One source noted that he's planning to work in the upcoming AEW show. So 50-50, this looks like this Kota is coming to AEW from what it sounds.
You know who I think it might be too? It could be Will Ospreay.
Oh shit.
Because remember, he has history with Kenny.
I mean, let's be real. Yeah, that's a possibility.
There's many possibilities. There's like not as many possibilities you go with the heel side.
Yeah,
there's not many New Japan guys that are like a true heel kind of.
Yeah, it's like they're either a face. It's like they're like almost like tweeners.
They're like kind of tweener, but kind of like not. It also could be. I'm thinking it might be Will Ospreay. Might be.
Well, we'll have to wait and see 2 weeks from now.
But I know for a fact it definitely might be Kota on the face.
But and this was an interesting thing too. Is that some talent in New Japan and AEW wondered in the past whether Ibushi being involved with AEW would strain the relationship with New Japan due to the way he left New Japan. Ibushi has claimed those issues has been resolved from a contract offer being made from New Japan.
Listen, AEW is not owned by New Japan, so why the hell is it a problem for them? Why is it a problem? Like I don't get it. So I feel like he doesn't really. I feel like he wouldn't really care. I don't think Tony really.
I think
cares.
he said both companies were wondering that way.
Like, dude, you don't own us. We're only partnering with you. Like, dude, he's a hot commodity. He's a hot commodity in wrestling. And plus, he has history with Kenny Omega. That's his best freaking friend, dude. Like,
yeah.
Did the relationship with you guys end ugly? Good. Probably did.
So,
but you guys are probably trying to lowball him too.
But yeah, speaking of the clip though, they actually showed by the Twitter user at Trey Bamager. I hope I'm. But they did say they tweeted this out. Kenny Omega after Rampage hit the Elite's mystery partner for Blood and Guts. He says an old friend of Kenny who recruited last month, but not in Canada. Someone very near and dear to his heart. He cares about the Elite, this promotion, and changing the face of professional wrestling.
He cares about the Elite. He's not in Canada. I don't think it's Kota. Kota really never gave anything about the Elite or Bullet Club.
It's just if it was just Kenny alone, that yeah.
If it was Kenny alone, yeah, for sure. But I'm not sure.
It's near and dear to his heart and cares about the Elite. Who the fuck could that be?
Near and dear in his heart, cares about the Elite, and he doesn't originate in Canada. And
he wants to change the face of pro wrestling. Who the fuck could that be? Oh man, this is gonna hurt my brain.
Bro, my brains are. I'm already getting ahead.
I'm already mind fucked as is because what I think is I'm near and dear.
I'm already getting a freaking headache from this shit.
Because think about it. Because when I think of near dear to Kenny, I'm thinking of Kota Ibushi immediately.
Yeah, they're best friends. They love each other. They're best friends.
He also mentions he cares about the Elite. It's like, who the fuck cares about the Elite?
Watch it be friggin' Adam Cole for some reason, but he's already in a tag
team.
He's
in the company.
He's already in the company.
Even though
he's outside the company, not in Canada. You don't live in Canada, and the Elite's near and dear to his heart. Damn.
I mean, if somehow Kota...
Yo, if you're in the comments, can you please help us out here? Because I have no idea who this is.
Because, man, that's like a...
I bet it's CM Punk. I don't think it's CM
Punk. No.
I don't because he never really gave them, but he never even knew about the Elite.
Yeah, so that's kind of...
Bring back Regal. No, he's not signed with AEW anymore. They bought out his contract.
Yeah, and he's with WWE now. So back.
Yeah, he's signed with WWE. They didn't have like a no complete clause. He just let his contract go, and He's with
That's
WWE now.
interesting. That's near dear to his heart. Cares about the elite. Changes the face of pro wrestling. That's not.
No, but Damien though, it's summer. No one. Here's the thing, Damien, about the 9 or 10 thing. People work, even in the summer.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to think about this.
And who cares? Dude, he has like bad take after bad take, man. 4 bad takes in a row, or actually just 3, or 2. 2 bad takes right here, back to back. If you rush things, you don't allow stories to marinate. You don't let stories just.
Yeah, I mean,
but
moving on.
95%, 90% of the people, or more than the majority of the people, hated that the fact that they cut that segment for time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't half-ass a segment and be like, that's all right because it's wrestling. No. That's a WWE mindset. But back to the thing.
Oh,
so we
man.
Can roll out CM Punk. We can rule out Coda.
To an extent, because there's been speculations that Coda might already make his way over to AEW anyway.
I'm going off of speculation. I'm going off the clue. He doesn't care about the elite.
He cares. It said he cares about the elite. It's not from Canada. That's near dear in his heart. It's willing to change the face of pro wrestling.
When CM Punk was in WWE when they made the elite.
Yeah,
he was like leaving WWE when they made that.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. He had already left. He was with UFC when they made the elite.
I'm like, how about that turned out?
he got walked. He got walked the hell over in UFC. He did good in that second fight. I'll give him that. He did a few takedowns. I'll give him that. He did better there, but he got walked on.
Coach Ed.
Wait. What's up, Coach? How you doing?
So, who the hell could this be?
I don't know, because I'm rolling out Coda because he doesn't care about the elite. He only cares about Ken.
Yeah, because
it isn't CM Punk because he's with the company and he didn't even know.
It's not Adam Cole. He's already with the company, and the funny is step by the type of
ruled out. He was with the company. Yes, he cared about the elite. Yes, he cares about the elite.
Damn, that's a tough one.
Damn it! Can't be Cody because he's with WWE. I don't know.
That's tough, but sticking with AEW though, Colt Cabana was actually spotted with AEW as a backstage producer this past week.
Oh wait, it's fried chicken day. Since when?
That's what I'm wondering.
Why didn't I celebrate that before?
But Colt Cabana actually came back to AEW after being away for several months, and also was spotted. According to Sean Ross Sapp, we're a bit of his. There's definitely look on him, but reported that Colt Cabana was working at AEW at the event where he was working as a producer / coach. So it looks like he is now fully transitioned to a backstage producer role.
He's not being used on TV prominently. He's been only on Ring of Honor. And plus he's getting older. He's getting a lot older than he was before. And
it also goes on to say Cabana was used on and off dating back to Labor Day weekend. Oh,
what the hell just happened to the audio?
I have no idea. But it also I'm going to repeat myself, but Cabana was used on and off dating back to Labor Day weekend last year when the drama of at All Out happened when he was mentioned by. We'll move on from that.
I think they're trying to excuse me, but I think they're trying to separate him from Punk as best as they can.
And it's funny enough, they actually did mention that Woods caused the rift between the two. So the rift between CM Punk and Cole Cabana started over Cabana getting pizza with WWE stars. That's all. I don't. That's me.
I'm gonna sue you for your money because you had pizza.
Yeah, that's what it says. The rift between, like, how those two didn't want to speak to each other because Cabana was spotted getting pizza with WWE stars. Like, okay.
What the hell did he sue him for, though?
I don't. There's no lawsuit.
Defamation of pizza.
I have no idea, but Cabana was, and it also goes on to say Cabana has been absent from AEW and Ring of Honor TV after he returned to AEW TV on November 2nd, 2022 edition of Dynamite, and unsuccessfully Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Title.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they did say it was unclear of which match he was helping at Dynamite. So, but he had a bit of a hand in the production in AEW last night.
Well, Cole Cabana, when you're producing the show, don't rush rush the final segment a little bit so you don't get cut for time.
Now moving on to WWE. It's kind of been interesting. So Mike Knox, for those who don't remember who Mike Knox is, obviously currently I think now with NWA, but if you go back in 2006, holy crap.
Who was he? Shawn Michaels, who was he?
But
I don't know that guy.
And current NW, so an exclusive for WrestlingNews.co, former WWE / current NWA star Mike Knox was interviewed by Steve Fall, so shout out to him for also following us on Twitter at the same time. But he was on the to promote the NWA's HP Cares for Cooper charity event, and all that. Obviously, awesome stuff. But he did talk about, he did actually reveal like who were the match. Oh wow! He really actually revealed like who the masked men were that on that controversial SmackDown segment. Tyler, you know what segment I'm talking about? Woohoo! That was yikes! That got Muhammad Hassan fired from the company.
Dude, UPN back in the day when that happened was pissed. I mean, pissed. They were so pissed. WWE ended up on freaking World News.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that was
They were on that. They were on the World freaking News, bro. They were getting hell on high water from freaking UPN and the government. The government was in on the shit too.
But yeah, so what he did.
Because remember when they did that segment, we were still in the height of the freaking terrorist war.
And not just that. It's not just that, and also he did mention about the London bombings at the same time when that segment occurred.
All right, Damien, who do you think it is? Shoot the answer, man. Who do you think it is? Because we got to figure this out, man. Get the detective going, Damien.
Get the brains going.
Get it going, bro. But yeah, man, that UPN,
oof, yeah,
the U.S. government and everybody was pissed when that happened.
Yeah,
but when they taped it, it wasn't on the day of the London bombing. When they aired it, that was the problem.
Top of the worst timing. I never
seen. They aired it the same day as the London bombing.
Oh man,
so it had people who think it was real, thinking, "Oh no, the same terrorists who bombed London are there on SmackDown trying to kill the Undertaker."
Hey, Tyler, thank God social media was not available back in 2006.
Yo, there'd be a mass panic, a mad panic on Twitter.
That would be yeah.
There would be hashtag cancel WWE.
That'd be like the biggest trending thing on Twitter. But
WWE would have died immediately after that happened if Twitter existed.
But I mean, yeah, there's a video on YouTube on the Mike Knox, because he didn't say it in the article, but he did mention in a YouTube video forum, WrestlingNews.co. So I had
Who follow what?
But sticking with the WWE, Baron Corbin, that segment with Baron Corbin was kind of interesting. I really was intrigued by that segment he did on NXT, and also is now a full mainstay member.
Maybe it could be Colt. Maybe.
Well, we'll see. We'll see 2 weeks from today.
Because he does care about the elite, and he did work for he does not live in Canada, so.
But the question is he really close to Kenny though? That's the biggest $1 million question.
Is he close to Kenny? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if he's close to Kenny. I don't know. See, everything else aligns, but it's the Kenny thing.
Yeah, it's like you got Coda with a personal relationship with Kenny as his longtime best friend, but you also have Colt Cabana, who has pretty much had the rest of the clues that's been kind of given out. So it's just like,
he also wrestled the entirety of the elite, and of course he would grow a relationship with the elite backstage, from his Ring of Honor days. So everything aligns, but I don't know if he's close with Kenny. I don't know. He could have gotten close with him in the last 5 years, but I don't know. But that is a valid answer. I will give you that. That is a valid.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, man. It's a possibility.
So, like I said, we'll wait to see the 19th. Baron Corbin, though, I've been really intrigued during this time on NXT, though. Like, I think that
they're doing what they should have done with Liv Morgan, right? When they tried to strip away the character and just be her. They're doing the same thing with Baron. Strip away all the characters.
Yeah, and the no beat.
They don't matter. They don't matter anymore. The damn gimmicks he did before don't matter.
Yeah,
throw him in that fire. Throw him in that proverbial. I can't speak today. Put it in that furnace. Burn them motherfuckers in the furnace.
But and they also did come out to say, and there's been articles, and I've seen that he's now a full-time member down at NXT. So
he wasn't doing anything next to note in the main roster. So
yeah, that's true.
Why not? They did the same thing with Athena when she was Ember Moon. She was on the main roster, wasn't doing anything of next of note, and then she became a full-time NXT member until she got fired. But I'm happy for Baron. I'm happy for Baron that they're trying to do something with him. They're trying to do something that people like with him because he is a great character. He can cut promos. He can wrestle. He's all around a good. He's all around a good talent. He has, for me, and this is what everybody's been saying since 2016, before the gimmick changes. After the gimmick changes, you're thinking, oh, he's dead underwater. But 2016, when he was the Lone Wolf gimmick, people were saying, this guy has all the tools to be a world champion. He has it. He just needs to find that right character. He had the right character back then, but now that character has been a little bit worn. So that's why they're killing it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit worn out. So they killed the character. A few crappy gimmicks later, they brought it back, but they killed it again. Now he's just himself, but, meaner and more pissed off. Which I like. They're just giving him a gimmick of being pissed off, which is fine.
But
just let him be himself, because he's a cool guy off TV, so he already has the cool factor.
I mean,
he's cool. In real life, is cool. So, but the coolness would make him also mean.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all you need to do, and they're doing it. They're doing it, and I'm intrigued to see what's next for Baron. The next episode of NXT. I'm thinking,
even though speaking of NXT, this 4th of July episode of NXT was the lowest in terms of viewership that they drew this week. They drew barely over 500, like 508,000 total viewers for the 4th of July. For the 4th of July,
I don't know. I really don't know. It could be because it's summertime and everybody was out cooking out or eating s'mores and bonfires and stuff. Because even Dynamite had low ratings for 4th of July or the 5th of July. Even I think every wrestling company in existence had low ratings because it's summertime. Everybody's out like at beaches or hanging out everywhere else. And also the 10 o'clock time slot for Rampage, that's always low because it's 10 o'clock. The only ones up are the ones that don't work.
but I mean,
and that's but really the low ratings are just counting to A, cord cutting, B, it's summer, and they're not taking into account the ratings on streaming services.
yeah,
But they would probably have higher ratings if they counted the streaming services. Like, because sometimes people have the TBS app to watch Dynamite, or the TNT app to watch Collision or Rampage, or they have.
You more for Raw, SmackDown, and
you got Hulu. You got Hulu for Raw and SmackDown. Peacock for Raw and SmackDown. So you got 2 apps for Raw and SmackDown to watch. Watch the new episodes on. Hulu gets the shows faster because they do like the whole next day basis where show airs on TV.
It's usually the day after they'll post.
Yeah, the day after they post the show.
Yeah, and they'll upload it to the rest of the tapings that they've done.
Yeah, and Peacock, they air. I think they air theirs like a week later.
Something like that.
Like a few. I think it's like 4 or 5 days later. But you got Hulu, you got Peacock, you got these streaming services you can watch these shows on. So there's no incentive to keep cable. So I feel like part of it's cord cutting and part of it is that it's summertime. People are out doing stuff. They're not inside watching wrestling.
And then I think also the thing too, I think sometimes I think people are having a hard time getting back into NXT. For those who remember
after Vince tried to kill it.
It has not recovered ever since.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. When Vince did the whole 2.0 thing, and he made these crappy gimmicks, and it turned me on.
Well, thank God they didn't. I don't see Wendy Chu each and every week, so I'm happy about that.
I hope to God that they're just repackaging her and not screwing her up. They need to repackage her bad. Putting her in pajamas and having her have a body pillow and an iced coffee.
Yeah, and actually wrestling. Not just that's her, or wrestling in pajamas or one size too tight. I was going to say that's wardrobe malfunction waiting to fucking happen on PG television.
That's the only gripe that I have for Hulu is that they edit the shows, man. I hate when they do that. They edit the shows off. But I don't know why Hulu feels the incentive to do that. The only thing that I agree with when they edit shows was when that one time when Nia Jax fell on the apron that one time.
Oh yeah, it's like my hole.
And she screamed, "Ow, my hole!"
Oh yeah,
edit that out. I'm like, edit that out when we send it to streaming. Just edit that shit out. And it was funny live, but edit it out.
Then again, though, I mean, Peacock, they did actually a pretty good job too of editing some stuff out as well. Remember when Vince McMahon dropped the N word?
They've done a pretty good job editing that stuff out, but they've also done a poor job.
Yeah,
they always black out like randomly, and then go back to the thing. It's like nothing happened there. Why'd you block that out? Like there was one time where the show came back to air, immediately blacked it out edited the whole entire thing out and then edited it back in. Like, what was the point of that? There was nothing that happened.
It's pretty much like in the way that it's like the edited version of a commercial break by the looks of it.
No, here's the thing though. It's when they come back from commercial, they black it out again. I'm like, huh?
I never noticed it.
You never noticed that?
No, I have not. Not at all. The many times that I've watched the older wrestling stuff.
Bro, dude, you have to watch. You have to rewatch it. And I'll I'll definitely.
Yeah, because I've never run into that problem.
Oh, I run into that problem constantly, bro.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I can't wait for SmackDown either, Jose. I can't wait to see this tribal.
hopefully it turns out better than. Oh boy, it's
Oh my God, Raw was. Oh my. No.
I might not be even want to even do Raw. Even if you looked at here from last night, it's like God help us,
Bro. I'm
it's,
saving my sanity next week. I'm saving my sanity. I'm not watching it next week. I'm telling you this flat out. I'm telling you guys this flat out. I'm not watching Raw next week. If it ends up being good and I'm not watching it, I'm gonna be so mad. Because last time I didn't watch an episode, it was good. I'm like, how the hell? And I watched Raw.
It's like poor timing. Like we always get stuck with the shitty episodes after like the good ones. But regardless,
that's like me with sports.
Yeah,
am I bad luck for everything? What the hell?
Who knows? But Rob Van Dam has actually kind of been talked about as well. That he says he'll probably never retire. I mean, have you looked at yourself at? Look, no disrespect.
You sound like Ric Flair right now. I will never retire.
Then again, though, I mean, at least then again, I mean, I wouldn't mind watching RVD wrestle, but he's been out of the ring for. Bro, what was the last match he had?
He actually had a run with Impact. I think 2018. That man looked so out of shape.
Yeah, it's like
that man looked bad, dude.
Then again, yeah, I mean, I would rather take RVD over Ric Flair any day of the week.
Bro, that dude, oh my God. Why are you wrestling knowing the fact that you're wearing a goddamn defibrillator?
Yeah. Man. It's kind of ironic looking back at it. It's like, the fact that
you that dumb?
Not just that, Tyler. I just realized when you mentioned the pacemaker, it's like, oh man, that brings back that Stone Cold segment. It's like, don't blow your pacemaker, kid. It's just like, what the fuck? Like,
bro, here's the thing: he actually wears a pacemaker, and he wore that shit to the ring in his final match.
Yeah, and the dude, you can't tell me that.
And that main event sucked when he was in there.
Well, thank God you and I did not watch that,
bro. I watched it. I didn't pay for it. Thank God I didn't pay for the shit.
But yeah, but he did. So RVD did talk about retirement, but he says, "quote I used to think I was going to retire a few years ago. I haven't put a lot of thought into it. I just kind of figured.
Here's what I think. Right? Sorry to cut you off there, Rob, but here's what I think. If you want to prolong your career, you need to get better. You need to get in better shape. Because I saw you in 2018. 2018, you were Impact. It looks bad. You didn't look lean. You didn't look like you could work with. You look like what I have, a little gut.
A dad bod, basically.
A dad, you wrestle with a goddamn dad bod.
Oh God, that's something I think no one wants to see.
You look like you cracked like 6 beers before you came into the ring. Because you were rocking that beer gut. Like, dude, like, you got to get in better shape if you want to prolong your career, stay in the ring.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
That's the only problem I have. Like, but, and honestly, don't be like Ric Flair and wrestle till you're like 80.
Yeah.
Wearing a goddamn pacemaker to the ring.
Yes.
Could barely walk in the ring. Could barely do moves in the ring.
Yeah, that was a complete botch fest from that quote unquote final match from Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I still think his real final match was in 2010.
That WrestleMania.
Forget 2012, that run with TNA, and forget that that final match that he had in 2021.
Yeah, that was just terrible. But
I still think his real storybook ending would be 2010. That's it. Anyway, let's move on.
Speaking of which, former WWE diva AJ Lee's been talked about as well, but she did confirm that she is still retired. But there's been speculation that surrounding that the former AJ Lee after she posted photos on Instagram of, well, let's be real, that she's been bulking up and staying in tremendous shape.
You want to know why she's been bulking up? The fans are not even listening. The fans are not even looking. You want to know why she's been bulking up? She's going to be on the second season of Heels. That's why she's been bulking up. As a professional, she's going to be acting as a professional wrestler again, but in a TV show.
I cannot wait to actually check that out. Actually, now that I think
I have to binge it. I'm like 5 episodes in.
And she actually did it. But
she's on that show now. She's on that show now. So and she's already announced. Hold on, but she's already announced she's been on that. She's going to be on that show. So of course, she has to bulk up. She's got to pick up people again. She got to body slam actors.
And not just that too, but she also reason why she still confirmed she is retired because of her neck. She still got a bad neck.
She physically can't wrestle. She physically can't. She's probably gonna do limited stuff on Heels, obviously, but she's gonna slam people.
Yeah,
and of course, when she's gonna get slammed in the ring, there's gonna be a body double. They're gonna edit her face on a body double. But with real wrestling, you can't do that. And she's got a bad neck as is. She's got the same injury that Saraya had, Edge had. You got. And I'm not gonna say Daniel Bryan because he had a concussion injury. That's why he got taken out for a little bit. But she has the same injury Edge and Saraya had. Saraya lucked out and she's in the business again. Edge lucked out, he's in the business again.
It's funny because
you can say that she can come back, but here's the thing.
Like you gotta think of because she cares about long term because she
cares about her long term health, her long term mental health too, because she's gone through a lot of mental health shit because of this too. But she's content with just being a writer / actress now, which I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I hope you kill it with your writing. I hope you kill it.
I think she might be a comic book writer from my understanding.
Oh yeah, make she's
good at it.
Yo, AJ, keep making nerds happy with that. All right, keep making nerds happy. And also good luck on the acting career. I hope you kill it on the second season of Heels. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, absolutely.
I have to binge watch the rest of the season on Hulu, but hope you kill it with that.
Oh, absolutely. And I would have to say she was actually. I will have to give her the benefit of the doubt, though. I always thought that she was very underrated in the ring as well during her time.
My gosh, bro, dude, she was a freaking star. A freaking star in WWE, man. And her promo ability too, and the character work, next to freaking none, dude.
Even though some of those stories she's been in, for me, were less to be desired.
Bro, to be honest, some of the stories she was in, she was kind of and don't demonetize me for this on YouTube.
Oh, I exactly know where you're going with that.
It kind of made her kind of a hoe.
Yeah,
She was every dude like every week. I'm like, dude, it's a different guy every week.
Because Kane for about a few weeks, and he had
Kane for a couple weeks, and then he had Daniel Bryan for like a week.
Yeah, before he broke it in 18 seconds at WrestleMania. Good lord!
You had Dolph Ziggler. They got shit on with. They got shit on with that, literally.
I forgot about it. Not just that. I swear to God, I think I remember that episode. I thought they got it on like literally backstage. That's like, what the fuck?
No, it was not. It was. I think it was Dolph Ziggler's feud with John Cena, and John Cena just shat on shit bomb in their little wedding. No, it was Daniel Bryan. That was Daniel Bryan's.
Yeah, one. I think it was.
But then then he had her with AJ Lee with Daniel Bryan for like that marriage lasted like a month. Then you had her with Dolph Ziggler, And then you finally had her with Punk, which that was her longest relationship on WWE TV.
And we come to find out.
Come to find out, they were actually together. Come to find out, and they were going to get married in 2014.
And it's funny enough. Speaking of that too, who remembers when CM Punk got his pink slip?
I knew I was going to say that. I knew. Yo, that's still the pettiest move by WWE.
That's super petty. It's like, what the? Like the dude.
Petty as hell. During their wedding. Come on, bro.
Come on.
Yeah, they made her. Yeah, they made her kind of a hoe though in story.
Yeah, that's
that was kind of bad. Why would you do that? And they also made her kind of like a crazy hoe. Like what the hell?
Are we talking about like Mickey James? What was it 2000?
Oh no, that's different. She was just a crazy lesbian.
Oh yeah.
Back in 06.
Oh, I thought it was actually 04 or 05.
And she jumped at her, kissing her and shit. She was crazy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about. Yeah, that was oof.
Honestly, I didn't think that was a bad storyline because it shines a light on crazed fans.
And whoever thought WWE actually had the guts to actually pull that off? Like, let's be real.
But it wasn't a bad story in hindsight. Like,
no.
It wasn't like a cancelable storyline. It was like more of like, she's crazy. She's a crazed fan who has a crush on a celebrity she's crazy about.
Very.
You have fans like that. Doesn't matter if they're gay, straight, bisexual. You have crazy ass fans like that, and that's what they're trying to shine a light on.
And it's shit.
I look at it that way.
I thought
that's not as bad as like 2003 freaking shit they used to do back then.
Yeah, ain't that?
I don't want to talk about that.
But Drew McIntyre, what a fucking pop at Money in the Bank. Let's keep it a buck here.
That place erupted from the rafters to the floor. I expected it too because he was home. He was home. UK. He's home.
And obviously, there's been a lot of talks, and it's definitely going to set up for SummerSlam. Gunther and Drew McIntyre for the IC title. To be quite honest, I had no issues with if this is actually would have been a perfect opportunity to have a guy like Gunther to drop it to Drew if you're going to eventually push him to the world title scene at some point, which I do think I do feel like it's going to happen at some point, but well, we'll say.
Yeah, push him to the goddamn moon again, like it did in 2020.
And please, let Drew actually have the moment should have gotten, or they should have waited on when the pandemic.
The problem was it's not they should have waited. They didn't know the world was going to go to shit.
Yeah,
but they already have plans set in stone, and they're like, we're just going to go with the plans that we have set. That's not WWE's fault at all, because no one knew the world was going to go to shit in 2020. No one knew that. I didn't know that. You didn't know that. Nobody else knew that.
And Damian, Drew's got one more year left on his deal. Because I don't think they still have not come to an agreement on a contract extension.
They did. I remember we reported it the day of the pay-per-view. They had reported it that they had signed. He had signed an extension.
Oh boy, I
don't know how many years. I don't know the price point yet, but I think it's been reported already that he has signed an extension with the company.
This is from yesterday. So Drew McIntyre made his return to WWE TV at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view to confront IC champion Gunther to set up the SummerSlam match next month. The former WWE champion has been away from the company because he took time out due to an injury after WrestleMania 39, where he worked a triple threat match with Gunther and Sheamus. And at the same time, he was frustrated with the lack of creative vision for him on television and being far apart on money in talks for a new contract with WWE. McIntyre's deal is believed to be expiring in early 2024.
Okay, so it's not they have time to re-sign him then. All right. All you really got to do, book him better, give him a higher price point.
I mean, just give the dude a blank check. The dude is like,
give that man his bag.
I mean, give that man his bag. I mean, shit. working with guys like Sheamus, who's another guy that I feel like needs better booking at this point.
Sheamus has gotten he's just there now. He's just there. He's on TV. And he had like this little mini feud, which lasted a week on SmackDown with Roman. I think it was either Roman or somebody else. No, Solo. He had that little mini feud with Solo this past week that culminated in a match the same night.
And Rafi, me and Tyra are with you on that. I think it is time for him to at least get some more, a few more championship runs. I
feel like if he wins the title at Money in the Bank or at a pay-per-view in the future, they extend this feud. If he wins the title, that's a huge tell that he is close to signing a new deal. That's how I feel. If he wins the title in the future, in this feud, he's close.
I mean, shit. That new world. If he was on Raw, man, if he somehow beats Seth for that,
bro,
that would look really nice.
That would look awesome on him. That title would look awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what it's gonna look like at SummerSlam. I mean, are they really gonna pull the trigger on the plans to really have Gunther as the main event, or do you still keep him as the IC champion, as not say for the foreseeable future, but as long as you can, because he's been a champion for over 280, was it 280 something odd days or something like that, or I think I lost count.
Close to a year.
I think it's been over a year. I think a year and a half at this point, I guess you could say.
No, close to a year. It hasn't been a year yet. But honestly, it is close to a year. Yeah, honestly, it's close to a year. Because he had retained that title a year ago at Clash. So he won it like a few months before that. So yeah, it was over a year. It's honestly time for him to drop the title, move up to the main title picture, go up against Seth for the world title.
Dude, I had no issues with that once. The new big gold belt around him. Oh boy, sign me up.
Yo, you think Gunther's royalty now? With that belt, he'll be even more royalty.
He's gonna put so much fucking value on.
The value of that title will rise even further.
And the fact that he'll be, let's be real, a really nice fighting champion at the same time, which adds more to that. That man,
because the character calls for it. When Gunther wins the title, he wants to defend it every damn week.
And shit,
he wants the belts that he wins to mean something.
Oh, and it should. I mean, Raw has not had a world champion in freaking forever.
He's one of those bad guys where it's like, well, maybe he's right. The hell? I'm like, those movie and TV show villains that are like shockingly right. That's Gunther.
Yeah, that is
right. Holy shit, he's right.
Got kicked out again.
No, it didn't kick out. No, I turned my head and the light just dimmed a little bit.
Oh yeah, your lighting stinks.
I know. All I have is a stupid lamp, and the big light just overwashes everything.
So the Money in the Bank this year, WWE issued the following: that the Money in the Bank this year sets the record for the highest grossing arena event in WWE history. That the viewership jumped up 17% from last year's record.
Yeah. Yo, Damien, shut up. Take my money right now. Take my freaking money. Gunther versus Brock? Take my money.
The question is, hey, absolutely.
Yo. But here's the thing. Does Brock need the IC title? That's the problem. Honestly, I don't even think Brock ever won that title.
I don't think so. Yeah,
I can see it, but he's too much of a main event draw to be in a mid card. But holy shit, I want to see that match.
But also, so this is interesting. So Money in the Bank has also set new records for viewership, sponsorship, merchandise, and social media. Obviously, viewership jumped up 17% from last year's record and surpassed Clash at the Castle by 30%. Sponsorship revenue was up 9% versus the record set back in 2022. Also, Money in the Bank was marked the highest grossing arena for venue merchandise in WWE history. Also set the record for on-location fan experience packages, becomes the biggest grossing non-WrestleMania event ever. And the event
all I have to say before you continue is no freaking wonder why people are claiming for a Mania in the UK. Do you know how much money that would garner? A lot. A hell of a lot of money for the company.
But going on is that the event also became the most social Money in the Bank of all time, with video views of the Bloodline Civil War match reaching 40 million in the first 48 hours, a 4-time jump from the top clip at Night of Champions when Jimmy Uso super kicks Roman Reigns.
I know they teased at the Royal Rumble, and that's where I got excited. I was like, give me that match right now when that happened, man. But anyway, yeah, that Bloodline Civil War really helped it a lot.
And I know we talked this once before, but for those who have not paid attention to it, this was last month, but Billie Kay, for those who have not paid attention, she's going to be a mom to be. It's like, damn.
She's already growing and everything. The baby's growing very, very well. She's very, very happy.
And
she looks great. She looks great.
Oh, absolutely.
I think she's gonna kill as a mom. Hell, her best friend's already killing it as a mom. So
yeah, with hey,
Sean Spears, yeah, her is Peyton Royce, who's now I forgot what her name is.
Cassie Lee, that's her real name.
Cassie Lee. You have Cassie Lee and Sean Spears, who are now, parents. And then you have Jessica McKay, who's Billie Kay, who's going to be a parent now. That's awesome.
And she did actually, she did show her ultrasound and stuff like that. But her baby, she did say like her baby should be here by December of this year. So she's at the halfway. Well, I was saying, no. And yet the last time she actually wrestled was in WWE was in 2021, but also the last time she actually wrestled overall was back in April 2022 at Impact Wrestling during the time when
they were tag champs there.
But I look, the Iconics got the baby fever, so I mean,
the Iconics had the baby fever. It was like within a year of each other. One who was pregnant, and the next year, the next one. I'm like, bro.
I mean, look, couldn't be more happy for her. I mean, it's
yeah, for sure, man. But really, you had to copy your best friend, Billie Kay?
I guess maybe.
You know what I gotta say about that? You know what I gotta say about that? You know it's coming, Rob.
Yep.
You joking me?
Iconic. Sorry, I had to do it.
No, I didn't do it with you. Hold on. We gotta do it together.
Ready? 3. Iconic. But I mean, also too, it's and you during the time on NXT though, I think actually I really like what they had at NXT. It's just like when they got to the main roster, they were actually. I mean, they actually had a really. I would say there's a decent run on the main roster. Just
they were just there. That was the problem. They weren't winning like title matches. They were just there.
Yeah,
it was basically the same booking as like the Riot Squad got. They're on TV, but they're losing. But they did have funny. They did have funny segments though. Billie Kay is just annoying the crap out of Kayla Braxton. Hey, Kayla!
Yeah,
Cracks me up every time.
and going back to AEW, if you don't have Fight Forever, they just dropped a trailer for Stadium Stampede. So that's gonna be a lot.
Yo, that has me hyped, bro. That has me so hyped. I'm like, because they're actually listening to fans. The fans were like, "What happened? There's not enough matches on this game." So they're adding matches. Hopefully, they're gonna fix the bugs that are in the game because there are some bugs in the game, some glitches.
Hopefully, add and improve the creator, have like a create community.
Yeah, please add some stuff and add like a face scan feature or creations thing where you can download different wrestlers that other people create. That'd be cool. And also improve your story mode. That's kind of lacking a little bit. In terms of the cutscenes. Cutscenes don't make any sense.
Oh yeah.
The gameplay itself, the overall gameplay, that's fine.
What Austin Theory is going to be kind of talked about, but he did reach a new milestone as the United States champion. So Austin Theory has been pushed as the next top WWE star since his arrival on the main roster for a second time. It started when he
has he though? Because as soon as he got drafted to SmackDown, it took him 2 weeks to even be booked on a TV show.
But Theory won the title last November at Survivor Series in a triple threat match against Bobby Lashley and Seth Rollins, but also held the title for 221 days as the United States champion.
He's actually did a pretty good job at defending it, despite not being on TV for like the first 2 weeks after the draft. He got drafted to SmackDown.
Oh yeah,
but he's been a pretty good champion, to be honest with you.
And speaking of which, too, and Ronda Rousey had a lot of people wonder to see her come, but there's been talks that she actually is leaving the company. And thank you, Shayna Baszler, for kicking the crap out of her. Holy crap,
bro! Thank you, Shayna Baszler, for that fiery promo you cut on her, speaking nothing but facts to her face and kicking her straight in the head. Even though Mrs. Ronda, couldn't sell shit. But it was kind of odd. It was kind of odd how they did Shayna's face turn.
Yeah,
that had her turn on Ronda, but she turned face because she attacked Ronda. But I was thinking about it. I was like randomly thinking about it. Like I'm just sitting here thinking, and I was thinking, it kind of does make sense because for the longest time, Ronda was using Shayna for her personal gain in the tag team.
And Tyra, you're not talking about
Shayna was seen as that lackey, and she was getting fed up week by week until she finally snapped.
Yeah, it's
and I can see why that would be a face turn. I could see that
because it's like she was. I think I said this a couple times too on the show as well. Like Ronda was holding Shayna back from what Shayna could be.
That was why she's turning face. That's why she turned face. Was because if you looked at it, Ronda was, using Shayna for her personal gain. She goes, she doesn't even have to lift the finger. So Shayna beat her up. Shayna would do it, but then Ronda would get the pin. That's and over time, Shayna was getting fed up. She snapped at Money in the Bank, turning face. That makes sense. Thinking about it.
Yeah, now once you think about it,
we look at it. When you deep dive it, it makes sense. But in face value, it doesn't make sense because it's like, okay, she attacked Ronda. Shouldn't she be heel? Because usually when a heel attacks a heel, they stay heel, and the heel who got attacked turns face.
Yeah.
But this time, it was totally different. They curveballs. But it makes total sense once you deep dive it.
Oh, yeah. And it's, another good long-term storytelling at its finest.
Tremendous. You just got to really think about it to get it. And I like it. And that promo had me like, Shayna's a star. Shayna's a star. You better not screw her up.
I mean,
Shayna's a star.
Hey, give me her and Rhea any day of the damn week. I don't care what anybody says.
Money feud. That's a money feud.
Because right now, because Rhea, not going to knock on her, but she hasn't really faced like serious competition in terms of her opponents.
Yeah, all they gave her was Natalya, and Natalya no one really likes.
Even though I will say the third time around, I thought that was a solid match between the two. I will have to say that.
That match didn't even slow down for a second.
Oh, absolutely not. But yeah, you had the first two were as slow as molasses.
The first one was just Natalya just jobbing.
Just got squat. I was like, what? First of all, if you're going to have something like that.
The second match never even freaking happened.
Yeah, that is true.
So the third, your third is actually the second.
Second match. But
in this time, guns blazing, full guns blazing. They were giving them everything, giving fans everything out of their playbook. And
absolutely. Wow. As much as I know we give a lot of shit to Natalya because her value in terms of
Natalya, her character work is very vanilla. Her promos are not that great.
I mean, look, they're still
character work not that great, but she is a good wrestler. I will give her that.
That's what we're gonna have. It's even though, like I said, we do give a shit for the
character. She's a good talent, wrestling side, but the character side,
it's pretty much. I think I said this before. Like it's pretty much like a copy and paste of her uncle. Basically, that's basically what it is.
It's basically a really really piss poor version of her uncle.
Yeah, it's just like this is what I think I said this Tara too. I think you can attest to this. I think I said this before. Like if you're not like a part of the Adawai family, who else is a big wrestling family that's still a Rhodes part of the Rhodes?
But you don't see Cody Rhodes being a carbon copy of his dad.
Yeah.
You don't see Roman Reigns being a carbon copy of the goddamn Rock.
I'm not gonna say a carbon copy of Milky. Well, Cody Rhodes, that's a different thing, but they're still milking like the Hart name because apparently it still makes them money. Apparently,
they're milking that dry. They're milking that too dry.
But the Anoa'i family, I have no issues with that because let's be real.
Here's the thing: the Anoa'i family, of course, are going to be carbon copies because they're a tribe. They're a Samoan tribe.
So that kind of gets a bit of a pass, but they also know how to put
the whole tribe.
And not just that too, Tyler. They also know how to put out some phenomenal superstars. That's in terms of The Rock, the Usos, Rikishi, the late Umaga, some of the others were the Wild Samoans.
Whether you like it or hate him, Roman Reigns. He's a great talent.
That's bro.
Solo Sikoa.
I don't know why the fuck I almost forgot about him.
Great talent right there. You got
who knows
the lineage of great talent.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he has
the only one that's not that great is Ava Raine.
That remains to be seen.
I don't know why she's not that great yet.
I think Tyler, you said it too. Like we talked about this before. They need
to work with her.
The promo's there. Don't get me wrong. The promo is there.
The promos are pretty damn decent. And she freaks me out when she looks at the damn camera. I almost soil my pants every time she looks at the camera.
But I think
it scares me, man.
But yeah, I mean, look, when was the last time you ever seen the WWE had any like big like a guy? Because let's be real, the WWE. I mean, over the years you always have at least one or two guys that are big money draws.
I can see your point. I can see your point there. She kind of does do the same moves, doesn't she?
Yeah, it's like
does. Yeah, you know what? I take everything I say back because she does do the same.
Yes, it's like what's something new, for Christ's sakes.
It's like she's just spamming the A button. What's spamming the A button? Damn it! Give us a little bit of the X button, a little bit of the B button. All right, stop spamming the A button. All right.
But
I can see your point there, Damien. I can see your point.
That we can see. But going back to what I said before, my other thought, because it's like, I mean, you looked at this company for how long this company's been around. As soon as you go through the Attitude Era.
Dude, this company's been around since 1963.
Holy shit, that's
yeah.
Even though, yes and no, do we hate Vince for a lot of shit that he's done? Yes. But where do we give him
But
credit?
he's the guy that made wrestling, that made the company famous.
Oh yeah, even
Like, if he didn't do that, kill all the territories in 1984 and make wrestling a pop culture phenomenon by 1985 and made it worldwide and made it,
and think of the amount of money that
phenomenon that it is today, then WWE would
yeah,
not exist.
that would be fucking crazy. Just thinking about that. Like what, like Tyler pointed out, like what, like the biggest what if, like what if the territory, if Vince didn't buy out the territories, like you'll
We
see.
would just be watching local wrestling.
Yeah, I know that. Just like boy, like I don't think no one ever will.
If WWE didn't exist, TNA wouldn't exist, AEW wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
WCW wouldn't. WCW
I mean,
would probably exist, but only in the South.
Yeah, you still have, you'll still bring back Deep South Wrestling. That was still back there.
There would have been like some.
You still got OVW.
Some, like local. Could be some like local South Jersey wrestling company.
I mean, we do have one that's. I mean, that's based out of Delaware. That's CZW. That's kind of close as you can get.
No, I'm talking like but you have like a local, but that's not televised on TV.
Oh yeah, I know.
But but that's Delaware. They would have that territory. CCW would have that territory up in New Jersey.
You would have a few. Sure. You got the monster.
There's a few wrestling companies there because one of my friends from high school is a wrestler there.
Yeah, Sean Henry. I saw that. You also have the monster. Monster.
Who I am excited for. I'm putting him over right now. I'm excited for this dude. He's wrestling goddamn Paul London, dude.
And Paul London from that on that poster looks fucking phenomenal.
Bro, he looks phenomenal. Yeah, he looks great, man.
I think he got better as soon as he left W. Yeah,
as soon as he left WWE, his star rose.
That's like, man, who would have thought Paul London would actually be a star? I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't have that. But yeah, like I said, go back to what we said before. It's like, yeah, we do hate Vince for all the shit he's done. Has caused the
last 5 years. Last 5 years, important.
But what we have to give him credit for is the fact he made this company mainstream. Brought in like guys that we never seen before. Got like Hulk Hogan in the 80s.
Bret Hart in the 90s.
And Shawn Michaels.
Stone Cold. The Rock.
The entire Attitude Era, and let's be real.
John Cena wouldn't give us John Cena.
Yeah,
wouldn't give the current generation Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins.
I don't know. It's crazy as it sounds, but yeah, you have to give Vince where credit is due. He knows.
But as a person, no respect.
Yeah, absolutely not. But yeah, it's crazy like how this company has come along since what the late night, like from like the mid to late. Like if you looked at if we had and Earl knows better than anybody about the golden age from like the 80s back in the day.
I call that the cartoon era. It kind of mirrored cartoons.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we still got a whole.
You had the big buff superhero Hulk Hogan. The big bad villain, whoever the hell that
I think was. At the time it was the late Iron Sheik, which was kind of shocking that the fact that he actually passed away this year was like, damn.
Yeah, and I said, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean the dude. I mean, and if anyone not watched clips of him doing like the Persian clubs, like this dude's strength is.
Bro, there was like I think it was like one wrestler who tried picking him up on TV, couldn't even pick him up.
Yeah. And obviously,
like, and how heavy are them shits?
Oh yeah, no, that actually was a bodybuilder. The bodybuilder kept picking them up.
Yeah, the bodybuilder was like, I'm like, how the hell?
The Irish Sheik does it like it was. He's just like, what?
Bro, it was like, yeah, this ain't nothing.
Basically, we're getting mind fucked, basically. And where I actually really liked about the Iron Sheik when I watched some of his old stuff on Peacock is the fact, like, yes. There was some, I bet there's probably a lot of times where he has faced a little bit adversity because, he does come from Iran. But the fact that, well, but he played a phenomenal heel. Like you got to work. The dude worked, heel though. Even though let's be real, WrestleMania set, yeah, and draws. Don't forget draws too. I remember the midnight. That would have been
draws, draws, man.
That was a shocker, and it's kind of I kind of
was sudden because he was living his life,
and all of a sudden it's just like bam,
boom, dead. What the hell?
And it's kind of, and I always wondered, like like after that incident with that accident, it's like I couldn't imagine what was going.
Accident with D'Lo.
Yeah, I could imagine what D'Lo was going through after that. It's like
he says he still thinks about that moment, and he still has nightmares about that moment to this day.
Like, man, I could just like, damn. It's like you can't feel bad for D'Lo. It's just like it was just. It's like.
Yeah, because as soon as it happened, he stayed in the ring and he ran up to Droz and went, "Dude, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry." Repeatedly.
And the fact that you like called him and texted him was like, and yeah, I mean, and there was no hard feelings since then.
And they were friends, and they were friends up until he died.
And he was what, 54, I think it was, when Droz passed away.
54, yeah.
Damn, like the dude
he was a young dude.
It just was really like unfortunate. Now I will say this too, though, there was some not just from unfortunate things, but I mean, for those who remember the Attitude, like myself, oh good lord, yeah, there's some shit that doesn't fly.
Dude, I was watching a few of them with you. And I'm like, how the hell did this fly?
Hey, look, the WWF at the time did not give a flying fuck, basically. I mean, shit, you had Jeff Jarrett, who was, they had portrayed him as a woman beater. So it's like, the dude would, like, put figure four, like, women in figure four leg locks for whatever. He fucking put Lily.
Bro, he flat out told China in a promo, stay in the kitchen or some shit.
I was like, oh, wow. I was like, I was speechless. It's like, how did this... Well, there was a lot of shit that me and Tyler got away with as kids. Obviously, Tyler in particular. There was one specific moment. I think it might have been Raw or Smack. I think it might have been Raw.
It was SmackDown. It was a random SmackDown. It was a Halloween episode of SmackDown. I'm telling you what happened to you. I talked about this once before on the show, right? It was a Halloween episode of SmackDown. I was watching it on Peacock like months ago, and I was appalled by this shit.
This had been, what, 05?
Yeah. No, this is 03.
Oh, 03.
Halloween of 03. And you had Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie in that freaking feud.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
That like 3-year-long feud, because that's the only two women they had on SmackDown was those two. For some reason, the whole entire women's division is on Raw. They only have 2 women on SmackDown. What? Well,
yeah, it didn't make any sense.
And then they signed Sable, and she wasn't even a wrestler; she was a valet for Vince.
Yeah, that was
cringeworthy too. But here's the segment, right? They had like this little like costume off or something.
Oh god, one of those weird ass like
weird ass shit. You had the bikini contest, and you had the
yeah, I forgot about those. Even though there were some women in the company that actually were low fucking fantastic, I will have to admit.
But here's the thing. Let me finish up, bro. Then you have this segment where they had to strip and climb into the caramel-filled apples.
Yeah, that was... I was like, why?
But they were only supposed to strip into their bikinis.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Tori goes first. She does it without taking off anything, but she only took off the costume, revealing a bikini, whatever. Fine. This is where it gets appalling.
I remember that. There was like... Was it like the...
Hold on. Let me finish. I'll get to it. I'm going to get to it, bro. It's Dawn Marie's turn. She takes off her costume, revealing her bikini. She climbs into the damn caramel tub with the apples. She goes, hold on. Now, let me take this a step further. There goes top.
I was like...
what the...
I was like, tell me... I just had a Booker T moment. I said, tell me I just did not see that.
That was me. I'm like, tell me I didn't just see that. I
will have to admit, let
me take it a step further. I'm like, tell me I did not witness this when I was freaking 5.
I will say this too. I mean, Tar can attest to this too. From like the late 90s to about, like, say, up to 03, shit was wild.
Yo, it was wild, bro.
There was some segments that.
Oh, let me tell you another thing too. They had a sponsor back then.
Oh, yeah.
They were advertising the shit out of this.
I'm guessing it's the Playboy sponsor, isn't it? If I remember
that's also bad. That's also bad. There's a different sponsor along the same lines as that, but more in video form. If you catch my drift.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going with this. I remember that sponsor. Well,
it's the summer of 03.
Summer. Oh,
or
God.
actually, it's the spring of 03.
Yeah, I think it was in the spring of 03.
They started sponsoring. Guess what they started sponsoring? On Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Goddamn, Girls Gone Wild Spring Break. Live on pay-per-view.
I forgot because I remember that. Not just that too. That was like a big like a consistent running sponsor with them.
I looked that up on Wikipedia. What that show was. They were promoting porn on WWE TV.
Yeah, we're trust me. When we tell you shit was wild, that shit literally was wild. And also and not just that too. If you're looking from 99 to 03, even you go
99 to 03, that was like borderline like trash. That was trash. And that's trash TV.
Yeah, which like some reality shows are now nowadays.
The reality shows are a lot tamer than what WWE was back in 03. Trust me.
Yeah, that is true.
This was like when they say it was like Jerry Springer, they ain't lying to you.
Oh no, this was like Jerry Springer.
It was like Jerry Springer on WTV.
Oh, trust me, like once you get right, and you got to think this too. Like meantime, we see some like segments that nowadays won't fly, and there's some characters won't fly. Like one character in particular that does not fly well today, Eugene. Obviously, for obvious reasons.
If you're easily offended, that character is definitely not for you.
Dude, I was cracking up because I could relate to the character because
for me, I can relate to him too because I relate to him a little bit. That the fake friend thing and stuff like that. He only pitied you, like the whole thing, the whole feud with him and Evolution. When Evolution tried to quote unquote put him in Evolution,
oh yeah,
they were faking it the entire time because they didn't really like Eugene. That's how I feel with some people.
Yeah.
But that's how I could relate to it. But the thing is, the character not only was it relatable, he was funny.
Oh yeah,
he was funny.
Before the all somehow fucked it up and with that.
Why did you turn him heel like that? Why did you turn him heel?
That will still never make sense to me. Or in the fact that another segment that we get that me and Sarah somehow got away as a kid. Edge and Lita on Monday Night Raw.
That celebrations.
I was like, what?
Here's the thing. They were just like, oh, we're just gonna get close and someone interferes while we're, almost gonna do it. They were actually doing it before someone interfered. Actually in doing it.
And funny enough, like that's where the rated R superstar stemmed from.
Pun definitely intended. It got rated R before shit. John Cena, or it was first Ric Flair interfering because he had turned face, so and stuff, and he was feuding with Edge for some reason. Or no, it was first John Cena. It was the 06 feud with when he first won the WWE title and he did the first Sex Celebration.
Oh yeah.
The funniest part of the whole thing was when John Cena undid the covers, right? Under the blankets, he looked down, he goes, and then he just body slams Lita.
Hey, man, boy, mid 2000s WWE was quite. That was something.
Also wild. 05, 06 WWE was wild. But here's the thing: Raw was wild. SmackDown was kind of tame.
Yeah, SmackDown was tame at that time.
It was getting tamer on SmackDown. There were still some wild moments, but it was not to the point where it was in 03.
Yeah, that is true. Or the fact that, even though I'm still kicking myself for doing this, for actually watching WWE ECW from 2006. I don't know why I had to sit myself through that. Don't you're asking why?
I would, dude. If I knew any better, I would have turned that shit off in the first
Oh,
episode.
trust me, I actually learned to actually turn that off when I was. I mean, look, seeing Kelly being
as soon as I saw the freaking zombie come out in the first second, nah, I'm going to bed. I ain't gonna watch the rest of this damn show.
I mean, yeah, well, I was. Look, let's be real. Yeah, if you look back at that would have been the third. I guess you could say the third brand as how they were trying to portray it. Even though this is what worded out what ECW should have been. Well, I would say should have been, but it
was kind of edgy in the beginning. Well, you know what killed it for me? It wasn't. It was good in 06, minus the whole zombie thing and the whole. Let's have Kelly randomly strip mid-episode.
Like almost every single episode, that's how they pretty much
randomly have her in stripper segments. Like, why?
And then you had and that entire thing with Mike Knox, and that kind of really.
Mike Knox getting jealous because CM Punk is being buddy. Only being buddy.
By the way, this was a prime CM Punk too in 2006.
Yeah, this was when he still had that Pepsi tattoo.
I think he still has it.
Yeah, he still has it, but I can barely see it. Like it was very prominent in 06.
Yeah,
like
and then he had. I mean, shit. I mean, he had the ECW when they first. They still had the Hammerstein Ballroom. OG. ECW.
You know what he had then, but he didn't have now. He doesn't have now.
What's that?
Damn lip ring. The lip ring.
I think after was it 07 he got, or was it 08
Yeah,
he ditched
after 07 he ditched the lip ring. He ditched it.
I was like, man, that was an interesting look to him.
Yeah, it was interesting. Why'd you take away the interesting look? But anyway, the storyline was that he was just wanting to be friends with Kelly because Kelly was getting hurt and he was trying to help her and stuff.
Yeah.
Mike Knox would see this and he would be jealous. Like, why are you trying to get with my girl? And CM Punk is like, dude, I am not even trying. I'm just trying to be a friend. For
a few weeks, if Mike Knox gets his ass kicked by CM Punk, I remember that. Puts him in the anaconda box, makes him tap.
And CM Punk the entire time is like, dude, why are you trying to fight me? I'm not trying to take your girl. What are you doing?
I mean, but this is
and
also...
then right after the storyline, they ended up dating in the storyline for some reason.
Yeah, it just didn't make. Yeah, that's when you knew shit was going in the opposite direction.
You just said weeks ago that you weren't even trying to get with Kelly.
But now you get with Kelly, like make up.
And it lasted a week because she was with Mike Knox a week later. Like,
oh man, what? I was saying this too. No, Kelly.
So the storyline started getting bad by like 07.
Yeah, look, she might be as bad as a person, but she had her questionable moments in the company in certain segments. It's like
in the beginning, it was like they're trying to make her into a stripper.
You got her saying being a stripper, being part of an abusive relationship, and then she also goes to say, I think was this before Royal Rumble? She's like that she's just like the biggest ball she's ever held. It's like, why did you say that?
I'm like, I watched the episode. I'm like, pause, Kelly. Damn.
I was like literally, she had like a big fucking smile on her face. It's like, I was like, why? Like, who thought of this? And thought this was be funny for her? Because he pretty much like portrayed her as like acting like a bimbo, basically.
That was still in 07.
Yeah, I know.
It was like Royal Rumble 07 when she said that.
Yeah,
but that was when they were still portraying her as a freaking stripper.
Not just a stripper, but also like a blonde head, like literally playing on the stereotype that all blondes are dumb as a bag of dumber than the bag of rocks.
She was never really a dumbass though. You know who's the dumbass? The ditzy one?
Oh,
Maria.
Oh yeah, I forgot about her. The only thing that was going.
He's so ditzy. But she made it. The thing
she made it work though. I think
it worked. She made it work, and honestly, looking back on it, it was oddly adorable.
And look, she's still killing it as well. You got to give her the respect that she truly. She never gets the love she truly deserves. Her and Mike Bennett, like you can't tell me otherwise.
Them two are freaking workhorses now. Workhorses.
And even
they're working hard in wrestling, but they also have kids that they have to.
And not just that too. Eva Maria is actually has like her own company for women to help push for women's wrestling.
Eva Marie, that Eva Marie?
No, Maria.
Oh, I think you said Eva Marie. Like what?
No, that should be who. Oh, good lord.
Yeah, that name should just die.
Yeah, yeah.
Not the person. The person's probably nice, and we don't want her to die. But the name,
character,
the ether. Put her name, the character in the ether. Don't mention it again.
Again, can't be worse than having Rosa Mendez on the roster, anyways. Too. So,
all right. Yeah. She was better as a ballet, though.
Yeah. I
thought she was cool as a ballet. But do you know what wrestler was the most cockiest women's wrestler? Come to think of it, in that women's division back in like 2010, 2011. Eve.
Yeah. Oh man, she did my boy Zack Ryder fucking dirty.
No, not that. In matches, right? Here's what I'm like. She was cocky back then. My God, I was watching one of her matches, and like she would incapacitate her opponent so much that they're laying on the ground. She ends up turning around and twerking on them. I'm like, you were cocky.
Even though I'm still pissed that she kicked my boy Zack Ryder right in the family jewels.
Bro, that man probably can't have kids thanks to you.
But it's crazy too. Speaking of Zack Ryder too, like
Zack Ryder upgraded with Chelsea Green, so whatever.
Definitely. And I'll say this too. This is what I've really liked about Zack Ryder too. Like, people say, "Oh, you gotta have to get a character to get over." This is the fact he got over on YouTube. You got to think of this too. At the time, like social media was not like as prominent as it is now. But the fact that he got over with his show, that was impressive. We'll have to give Zack Ryder a lot of or Matt Cardona a lot of credit for working with that. It's like, I was like, damn.
Well, that's what happens when you bet on yourself, and he's always bet on himself. Look at him in NBC now; he's over.
Dude, he's just fucking killing it.
But he bet on himself.
Even though
I could be a star in wrestling, and he's become a star in wrestling. Even though I
will have to admit, seeing him kind of, I wish he could have been used a little bit better, in my honest opinion, in the company, because the dude was talented as it is, but it just,
I guess he was a victim. He was a victim to that golden shovel with Cena. He was a victim of that golden shovel. The
Super Cena. Does anybody remember?
Super Cena killed him.
And not gonna lie, from 2005, and that was till 2015. I think that was all said and done.
No, it was from 2007, because he was with Edge and Kurt Hawkins. He was one of the Edge heads.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the Edge heads.
Yeah, he was there in 2007. From 2007 to 2019. It was from 2019 because he ended up on AEW right after he got fired. For a little bit.
Right.
And then he was with Impact late 2019. So it was from 2007 to 2019. And for the fact that he's been there for that long and only got a push once in 2011, and he stayed, amazing.
And it's just like, and shit. I think I didn't mind the Super Cena, but man, there were some things that you could have done a lot better with.
I watched 2010 SummerSlam when he buried Nexus on that.
It
pissed me off as much as it did in 2010.
It's like you had a good faction going for you,
and then you had him get squashed. The last two people get squashed by Cena within 2 seconds.
Like, goddamn. And it's like, it gets you.
And here's the thing. They weren't completely all buried, because Wade Barrett had a pretty decent
really good singles run.
He had a pretty good singles run.
David Otunga was actually okay.
Otunga sucked. Otunga, he had flaws. So he was going to get buried regardless.
And he had a guy, Skip Sheffield, was a little bit green, but came back as Ryback.
O'Shea got booked.
Heath Slater turned to be a jobber on.
Yeah, Heath Slater was a jobber for a little bit. He got a little bit of a push in 2016 with Rhino with the "I Got Kids" gimmick.
He said Bronco said, "Fuck your kids." I was like, "Why?"
Like, yeah, he literally. I'm pretty sure he didn't even script that. He was like, just say, "Screw your kids."
Oh, that's right. Super Cena was from 05 through 2014.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Super Cena. All right. I thought you were talking about Zack Ryder's run.
Oh yeah, Zack Ryder. I know he was his last. Well, yeah, it was in 2019, and ever since he left, well, boy, didn't he?
He's been going crazy. But back to Heath Slater and the Brock Lesnar thing. I'm pretty sure Vince specifically said, "Say screw your kids," and Brock Lesnar just took it to himself. He goes, "Fuck your kids." I
was like, "Damn."
No, he didn't say "fuck your kids." He said, "I don't give a shit about your kids."
And just
I'm like, damn.
Oh shit! I mean, look. I mean, then again, though, I think I see more from Heath Slater. To be quite honest, I think she pulled off being part of the 3MB was actually not bad from him. But yet you also had one other jobber with him that was Jinder, as Gooey puts it, Jinder my balls. And it's oh god, it still pains me to see Drew McIntyre in that group. It's like, what the fuck?
I know it. Like, I would just nod my head in disgust.
It's like, why? Like, how did this even happen? But now,
but here's the thing, though. He was still relatively green, so he deserved jobber status until he got better.
Well,
and he left.
look at that.
He left. He got better, and look where he's at now.
And put on some stellar matches. Part of as I don't want to call them the Banger Bros, even though the company doesn't want to, but that's just after Banger. And let's bring that triple threat match with him, Gunther, and Sheamus
was. Here's the thing: Banger Bros sounds bad.
Yeah,
you gotta think dirty to know why that's bad.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Have you ever not seen our wrestling streams? Well, we do crack some dirty jokes here and there. Well.
Bro, you basically said Rhea Ripley likes to
straddle Dom when she ever feels like it.
Yeah, you said that flat the frick out.
I had no regret saying that.
No wonder our videos keep getting freaking monetized.
Funny enough, actually, we cracked a dirty joke on AEW last night, but that shit did get demonetized.
Bro, I'm back to cursing again because apparently. Cursing doesn't really matter, and dirty jokes don't matter either.
Because I did want to say add another point to that. It's like I was like, man, I bet she loves being the top and Dom being the bottom. It's like, I'd actually
fucking away, dude.
Sorry, I'm gonna see myself out.
Yeah, get out of here.
I wish I would have said that a lot sooner. Was it Monday? I think it might have been Raw if I remember correctly.
It had to have been Raw because we were only talking about Rhea.
Hey, look, she does love riding her man, though. I will say that much. Hey, look, I'm not holding back, man. But
no, it's not as bad as her saying that Dom was her dirty Dom.
Yeah, well,
like, damn. Even WWE's getting a little dirty with it.
Oh, trust me. I think I even said this too. Even Buddy Murphy has some competition
I remember a segment, right? It was the Judgment Day, and I think it was either Damien or Finn said something. It sounded completely dirty about Dom and Rhea. And Dom looks at the camera and goes,
yeah, I remember that segment.
Crank me up, bro.
But
you looked at the camera like, I might not mind that.
Hey, shit. He would. Well, I'm gonna keep it there before we.
Yeah, you have a limit with dirty jokes. You already told 2.
Oh well, I got maybe. Well, I'm gonna keep it to myself.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah, I see.
Jamie,
Oh yeah.
you're bad, bro. You're
Oh
bad.
shit. You ever seen Chino? Well,
No, did you see the video of Jalen Green?
oh yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, I
Yeah,
seen the thing.
I know what you're talking about, Damon. You're bad, bro.
Dude, I seen that shit from fucking Chisel Adonis. That's what I knew about it.
Just what time was so mad.
But yeah, but I think overall though, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like we said before we got off the beaten path. Like, since from the days of territories, and the WWE is a conglomerate. Let's be real, one of the best, a huge mainstream conglomerate, and rightfully so. Yes, no, like I said, we give Vince credit for that, but the last 5 years, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, as a person, he can go rotten hell.
And it's just crazy, like how this company has come along since 1963. You've seen the difference. And some history being made in the between the 60s and the 70s. I mean, shit, you had Pat Patterson finally introduced the Intercontinental Championship, which nowadays has become one of the most valuable mid card belts to date. I mean,
and he was the first Intercontinental Champion, but he made history both times. He was the first champion. He was also the first gay champion.
Yeah, when I found that he was actually part of it's like gays, like, really? That's interesting. Yeah. Like when I first found about it, I was like, oh, that's interesting, which I never knew about it.
But that was when Vince Sr. was running the company. Vince Sr. was less discriminatory.
Yeah, that is true.
He was booking more like minorities on the show, on his shows.
And
when Vince came in, it was all white.
Oh, trust me, like, and we've seen it to this day too. Like, no black champion is safe in the company.
Yeah, no black champion is safe, except you could say The Rock, but he
was more mixed.
He was more mixed than anything, and you can't
lower
if you're fully black.
Like Kofi Kingston, his championship reign didn't last fucking long.
His championship reign lasted pretty long, but he jobbed out Brock. Because Brock was white and he was black.
I'm trying to think. Bianca, I won't say,
Bianca though, yeah, they kind of like discredits that take. Cool. You rectified that by making her champion. Cool.
No, yeah. But then again, I think over time, her championship reign did get a little bit stale. So I think they did a really nice job of, pulling the trigger with Asuka. And that's another thing too. Like, and that also applies to if you're from not just black, but if you're also Asian and stuff like that. We see.
Oh my god, dude.
You remember like superstars that could have been champions that were Asian? A guy like Jerry was actually think Jerry actually had a couple championships, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like 2 cruiserweight wins.
Yeah, I forgot about the 2 cruiserweight runs, not ones.
A tag championship reign that lasted like 2 weeks, and then freaking Eddie Guerrero turned heel for like a week because he dinged his car.
Wow. Yeah. And I almost said this too on Eddie. Look, God, it sucks, man. Like, man.
That man was. Here's the sad part about him dying, right? He was finally turning his life around.
That's like, man, turning his life around and unfortunately his life cut short at the worst possible time as he does so.
He was finally turning it around. He had quit drugs. He got back together with his wife, Vicky, and then he slipped up like 9 days before, and that's what killed him ultimately. Because he hadn't done drugs in so long, but he slipped up with the steroid. He did steroids.
Yeah,
it wasn't like hard. It wasn't like hard, like
like doing hardcore style, but
doing like pause.
Oh, damn it!
Yeah, you think I wasn't going to? You walked in that one, bro. No, but he wasn't doing like cocaine or pills or anything like that. He was doing like steroids. Like, you know how the bodybuilders do it.
Yeah.
That's what ultimately got him, because it messed with his heart, and he just collapsed.
And only at 35 as well.
Only at 35, yep.
And he would be. It's been what?
55.
I think he'd be in his 50s right now if we were still
55.
be still alive.
Actually, no, not 55. He'd be like what?
This was what he died what in 05?
05. It was 35.
So this has been
We're 2
18
years. We're 2 years shy of 2025. I'm counting that because
so
2025 he'd be 55. So he would be 53.
He'll be 53.
He'd be 53.
God damn.
Yeah, he would be 53 years old.
And
Don't know if he'd still be with the company though.
No,
I think he'd be doing a backstage role.
Yeah, but what are you gonna? There's and we actually kind of talked about this too. You know, the legacy that Eddie has left behind. You know, you've seen a lot of some of these superstars that have.
Bro, look what was repackaged or regrouped. The LWO. Who started that? Eddie.
And he had Ray with him.
And who's fronting the new current one? Ray.
It's
his best friend.
Yeah, and you know, and for those who like we don't like, I don't we don't know Ray personally, but we've seen document times where they were like almost like family to one another.
Bro, they were brothers. They were practically brothers.
It's like damn. It's like
hell. You had his son call him uncle.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy too. If we looked at some of the shows that they have on A&E, like Dom kind of gets choked up talking about it. Like he knows, like that's his uncle. Like it's kind of hard to really understand.
Yeah, that's family to him. Same as Ray. Yes. Bro, I remember when I first heard the news, I was broken for that night. That night, I was broken, man.
Dude, I could imagine what Ray was going through at that time when Eddie passed away. Like, I think he would be more.
Dude, you know what's even worse? Freaking Chavo. He found it.
Yeah, that was just rough. Like, it's like I mean, damn. 15 years, man. Holy 18. God, almost. Holy crap. I feel like I'm getting old. Just that's crazy. That's fucking crazy. It's been almost 20 years without Eddie. Without Eddie.
Yeah. But let's move on to the next topic. Off the somber note.
But yeah, I think overall, you know, I think that's, you know, and I'm actually interested, you know, with SummerSlam coming up as well. I'm very intrigued of how they're going to book the show. Because and Earl talked about this, you know, because you need a strong go home show going into your pay-per-views. Because it's like, you know, Royal
the go home shows for Money in the Bank is poor.
Yeah, it was just god awful.
SmackDown was okay.
Yeah, it could be better. But
Raw, I wanted only an hour into the show and I wanted to turn it off.
Yeah, it was just bad.
But we were streaming, so I couldn't. So I just brave up and watch the rest of the show with you guys, so we can finish the podcast or finish the watch along.
Yeah, was talk about being rough.
And like I said, there's a trend. I've said this countless times. There's a trend with these shows. If it's a bad show, the hours just drag on.
Yeah, that.
But if it's a good show, the hour just speeds up.
Yeah, and then all
like the one SmackDown. It was the SmackDown like 2 weeks before Money in the Bank. It was SmackDown 2 weeks before, and that show went quick.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it was a good episode. I was invested in it, where I was losing track of time because I was so into the show. The SmackDown after that, shit, absolute garbage, and it dragged on.
Yeah, dragged on then longer than it should have been, because good lord, there were times like entire season. There was times too, like I actually want to go to sleep because it was just so boring.
So I look over and you're like,
Like
You have
literally,
an
I
annoyed
was
look.
falling asleep.
You have an annoyed look on your face, but I can see your eyes just drop a little bit.
Oh
I
yeah,
go, hey,
bro.
what's up?
Like that's when you know like a show like either Raw or SmackDown is just goddamn awful. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it you know that should be applied for every single company. You should have at least a really nice, strong go home show before your big pay per view event or whatever it is.
Yeah. You got to build up. You got to build up to pay per view because pay per view is going to have a lot of payoff.
Oh yeah,
To stories, you got to pay it off. But the problem is the story has to be compelling, where you can actually pay it off. But the problem is when the story is bad, shows are bad. No one's going to care about it. You got to. This is like a business standpoint because you're basically selling the pay per view retail.
Oh yeah.
It's basically retail. It's pay per view for a reason. It's retail. You got to sell the product with your stories. You got to sell the product, and you're not doing it. And some of the times, most of the time, they don't do it, and then the pay per view ends up good. AEW has that same problem.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few times where they had a bad go home show. Pay per view was good, but the problem is you got to have a good go home show so you can sell that pay per view, so more people would want to watch this pay per view.
Oh yeah, I mean, shit. If you think about it, AEW, I think the 5 years that they've been around, they had like one pay per view that actually was, below expectations. That was Double or Nothing this past year.
Oh yeah, that was a double or nothing this year.
Yeah, that was just god awful. That god awful.
Yeah, and Zach, you're right. You were right. You were right, brother. It was painful. It's legit painful to watch Raw now.
And it's like that's pretty much like a bad Money Raw show. It's it should be like a form of torture.
That's what I was gonna say. It's borderline torture.
Yeah, but
I think they would have to freaking dude. It's like somebody sat me in a chair, tied me up, and forced me to watch this show.
Yeah, that was just god awful.
It's bad, man. It's a bad show. They need to. Sometimes Raw is shockingly decent. Sometimes I will give him that.
So Zach says, like I was playing.
Here's the problem, man. I can't do that because I do this stuff, and we can't do that. So we have to torture ourselves watching this show. That's the problem. Well, I would have done the same thing. I probably would have had it on in the background. I have 2 TVs in my room, so I'd probably be having Raw on one TV. I'm gaming on the other. Because I can't. There's been a few, like I said, there's been a few times where I almost left streams and turned off Raw. That's how bad Raw gets. But
yeah, so the last and final thing we want to go over, we're going right back to AEW. Me and Tara talked about this before. Diamante is now considered under a full-time deal with technically Ring of Honor, or technically AEW / Ring of Honor. But she was working on like a Tier 0 Prove It deal, kind of like Sky Blue was when Sky Blue got when she earned her contract with AEW.
Now I was thinking about this, Rob. Sky Blue was also prominently used on Ring of Honor in a Prove It deal. And then she was put on AEW TV, and now she's being used prominently for AEW programming. What if Diamante is going through the same thing?
Yeah, I can see.
She's on that Prove It deal, but Ring of Honor, and that's why I think people are saying Ring of Honor is like NXT.
I could see that. It's like their version of that.
I can see that too, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm thinking because they were also high on AR Fox.
Yeah, and AR Fox has put us some good matches on AEW television. I will have to admit that.
And a lot of tag matches with Dante Martin.
And obviously Darius Martin actually He's on the show with a broken ankle. Oh God! Oh my God! Just think about that.
That was gruesome.
That doesn't sit right with me. It's like, woof.
Bro, I'm eating dinner. Can we not talk about that?
But
that's how bad it was. But
yeah, Edgar Fox, I guess you could say he's probably the more like the veteran. I would say out of the coming out of Ring of Honor, but I think he has done put up some good matches. There's some guys I just I do want to see more, but I do think he needed more work, and that sometimes it can be Grand Metalik. And Blake Christian, I really Blake Christian's kind of bland.
Yeah, that was exactly why he didn't last in WWE very long. Because they had the same mindset. This guy's good, but he's bland as a character. He doesn't have a character.
Yeah, it's just. Ugh.
I'm watching Blake Christian's work in AEW. I'm seeing why WWE let him go after a week.
Like the talent is there, you just need a better character for him.
It's bland. It's very, very bland. AR Fox, I'm very high on him. I don't know how the hell he does that moonsault thing he does.
Yeah, that's.
Or no, he does that where he front flips back. He front flipped, but he's going backwards at the same time. How the hell does he do that?
There's just some guys that are just defy the laws of physics, basically.
Bro, he really defies it because you're front flipping, but you're going backwards at the same time.
But yeah, and Diamante though, I've kind of liked her work as well, and I think she could be that another star that star of the making for that women's division. And
yeah, I thought she was okay in 2019 when she was teaming with Ivelisse for a little bit. In 2019 when Ivelisse was there, before she had her beef with Thunder Rosa and it got her fired.
Yeah.
Which I honestly don't know what the hell that's about. Who's telling the truth there or not? But I really like Diamante as a wrestler.
Oh yeah.
But we've never really gotten to hear her on the mic.
Yeah, that's where that's
and right now, Ring of Honor, I'm seeing like clips on Facebook with Ring of Honor where she's actually speaking. And she's not a bad talker. She can work on mic. So I feel like we're trying to get her to work better there. Get a character going. Get some wrestling, get her wrestling to be, a little bit better. But
yeah, I mean,
she's got something. She's definitely got something.
Yeah, but they did say she's picked up some nice victories during her time with Ring of Honor. So, there's a possibility we could potentially see her, on AEW sooner rather than later.
Yeah. We could see her in Ring of Honor. Well, we can see her in AEW within like a few months, maybe.
I mean, shit. Look how far Sky Blue has come since then. Because I mean, when I first got to see her, I mean, like she was green, not too like super green, but there was some things like she could have worked on. If Ring of Honor was still.
Yeah, that's that. Here's the thing: when she was with AEW, she was just working. She was working competitive matches, but she was losing. I'm like, she's got something here.
Exactly. And then once they sent her down to this re-edition of Ring of Honor, boy, has she really stepped it up or not.
Yeah, she got way better. She put her career into second gear after that. And then she got called up again to do a Dynamite show. And she had damn near a classic match.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it was with Toni Storm because she was like,
yeah, Tony. Yeah.
And she had a damn near classic match, and I look at Rob on stream, I go, she's a star.
She's a star in the making because, you still got, Britt Baker, who's still a star as well. I mean, you still got Toni Storm, for me, is still a star.
We still do this thing, we still do that.
Oh, yeah.
We still do that. She's a star, too.
Absolutely.
Jamie Hayter grew into a star.
Yeah, and trust me, and Tara had our gripes on her.
We were like, I was like, she is way too green. They need to work with her.
And they did. And
They
boy,
worked with her.
she
got
not
better. And I even told the same thing I told Rob about Sky Blue. I told Rob in that match. She was good in. She was really good in that.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, she has something. She's a star.
Absolutely.
And then she's talking on the mic. She cut a promo. I'm like, she really is a star.
And now the fact she's going to.
And again with Sky Blue, she cut a promo too. I'm like, she's good there too.
And now she's going to take on Ruby Soho in the Owen Hart's semifinal.
Yep. And I'm conflicted. I don't know who I want to win.
It's like I'm thinking to myself, God damn it, Tony, why did you have to give us a tough choice? Because on one hand, yes, I want to.
You book us into a corner with our predictions, Tony. Thanks.
Because one thing, you know, I want to see. I do see Ruby moving on because me and Tyler talked about this. I think we actually mentioned this last night. Her booking needs to get better out of the group because right now the only ones that actually been booked really properly out of that Outcast faction is Tony Storm. You know, it's crazy as I know how crazy it sounds. You know, I want to say this too. I don't think Tony Storm actually had a really actually I want to say a good run, but I feel like they just treat her like a goddamn joke at that point. Before on her God, with a pie to the face, like that's kind of more that's embarrassing.
Oh, I don't want to WWE run now. That was a joke.
Honestly.
But the problem that I have with Toni Storm in AEW, right? Not the fact that she's a champion. Fine, she's a champion, cool. They gave her one title defense.
Yeah.
One. Against Sky Blue. That's it. Rest of the time, she's a multi-women tag matches. And
I think that's what I said.
The other groupers or the other members of the group are getting prominent pushes because now you have Ruby Soho in the tournament.
Yeah. And also, I think you extend to the fact that, I mean, I was going to think of the quality of competition that Toni Storm outside of Jamie Hayter. I mean, I think she shows.
Sky Blue is a good opponent. I will give her that. But you're not giving her plenty of good opponents. You just gave her one. Have a match with Sky Blue for the title. Retain there. But we have nothing for you in terms of title defenses. What?
And her Will actually kind of tore the house down to a Forbidden Door. Will actually did pretty well.
Oh wait, yeah, she did have a title defense against Willow.
I just realized, how stupid we just forget. Oh man.
Okay, she had two title defenses, one against Sky and one against Willow.
I think, yeah. So now, I mean,
sorry, y'all. I had a dumbest moment. Sorry.
Yeah, but. You know, I mean, Tony, boy, you got us in the corner. It's like, why? You have two women that it's kind of hard to root against each other because it's got Sky Blue.
Oh no, it's not Tony. It's Ruby.
Or that's what I'm saying, Ruby and Sky, because
Tony Khan. Ruby and goddamn Sky. You put them in a match together in a tournament.
It's like, why?
Why do you have to do this? You're both in the corner. They're like both.
Because like number one, you got Sky Blue, who's right now should be your next upcoming, and that's the thing.
Yeah, she's your right. You have your rising star against somebody who should get
not just a rising star, but you're rising a homegrown talent at the same time in that women's division. That's we have seen the women's wrestling's been kind of lackluster, I would say, to say the least, and I think, I've also got a feeling that Britt Baker also might have had a bit of a hand in Sky Blue's development. I don't know, like this what kind of gives me.
I watch All Access, right? She is a legitimate locker room leader. Britt Baker is.
Yeah, on
All Access, I've seen her go out of her way to help Willow Nightingale. Go out of her way to help Sky Blue.
And she said herself, like, I want to see these women succeed. It's like
she wants to see them all succeed. She shares, Don't you dare pause me when I say this. She shares the load. All right? Don't. I hear you're going there.
I'm sorry. That's where my tire. Oh gosh.
I think you're going there, kid. No, she shares the wealth.
That's better. that was a better choice of words.
But sharing the load means she's sharing, the talent. You goddamn it, you think dirty too much.
But I mean, overall, though, I mean, look, do I think some people consider her overrated? Yeah, sure. I mean, there's an argument to me, but she's willing, like, yeah. I mean, look, she is, and think about it too. I mean, I thought she did a really nice job of putting Ruby Soho over, because I think she knows, like, yeah, Ruby Soho is not getting really the respect that she was brought in to be. And, I got to give Britt Baker a lot of credit for, like, and we know that you have some of these big stars that are not willing to put talent over it. And I think that's where I think Britt Baker kind of falls in the category of, like, yes, like, look, yeah, I may be a big star, but I'm willing to put talent over when the situation calls for it. And knowing that, yeah, I've won the damn Owen Hart women's tournament. I want to see someone like a Sky Blue or a Ruby Soho, because let's be real, Ruby has, in her time at AEW has been terrible, could be better. Because we know in WWE she was like treated like a fucking joke.
But here's no. You want to know why she was not signed to WWE? I told you this before, man. They used her as enhancement talent. She was never signed. I told you that before, dude. How'd you forget?
I have a tendency to forget, but
bro, yeah, she was not signed. She was not signed to WWE. She was used as enhancement talent. And the reason why she was used as enhancement talent was because by the time she was used as enhancement talent, so you can just see how she can sell, her boyfriend was there. That was why she got a chance as enhancement talent, because Adam Cole was there.
Oh, I completely. Sometimes it's kind of crazy.
At that time, she was enhancement talent. She was with Ring of Honor in their women's division.
That's crazy too. Like, I'm gonna give Tony Khan a lot of credit though, man. I thought he's doing a really good job, especially with working with someone like Athena. Because holy crap, like you could build an entire way. Because I literally cannot wait to the time where she comes up to the AEW women's, I guess you could say the main roster for AEW. Because man, I think she could put on some matchups with some of these women in that women's division. Her and Britt, I could definitely see them, scrapping.
Bro, she carried Jade Cargill. She carried her.
Oh yeah. And honestly, too, we're going to move on from that. But that being said, yeah, because that's kind of pretty much it of the show. We
talked about so much today, man.
I mean, yeah, the last 2 hours and 20 minutes. So it's been kind of fun. With that being said,
it was more like it was for me. I think it was more improvisation.
Yeah,
so it wasn't really set. We were talking about different stuff at different times. We went the path a lot, but quality show today. Thank you guys for checking us out. Please like and subscribe if you like the show. If you like us, and you want to see more of us and things like that. Please like and subscribe to the Sports and Wrestling Connection. Yes, that's a new name. I know, you'll get used to it.
Well, actually, speaking of, we did get another match for Death Before Dishonor. Mark Briscoe and Claudio for the ROH World Championship at Death Before Dishonor.
Oh my God, they finally turned Claudio heel in our Ring of Honor while he was a heel, and thank you. The one problem that I had.
Well, yeah, I mean, but yeah. That being said, though, me and Tara are going to wrap it up here because, like I said, there were times we'll see if
there's one comment I didn't see here. Awesome name, though. Yeah, it is. Oh, thanks, bud. Thank you. I was my gears were turning when I chose to name myself. I go, I asked Rob, how about Sports and Wrestling Connection? He goes, that's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, because
All right.
and it's funny enough because I actually been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah, he's been thinking about rebranding for a while because he noticed what I noticed. The fact that the sports videos pop off, the wrestling videos kind of tend to just like be okay, but not pop off. So we wanted to make a channel name to where everybody can come in, they know what to expect.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to just like pull the rug out. Oh, we talk about wrestling too. No, we want to promote both with this name, and that's why we did that. So, thank you, Zach, for saying it's a good name. I chose it. I usually choose bad. I usually chose
yeah.
No, this show used to be called the SmackDown Podcast, and then I thought, oh, I'm gonna get copyright, so I changed it to that. So,
yeah. Which is crazy.
I have a tendency to pick bad names for titles and stuff. So,
I mean, but that being said, this is concluded for the It's Ruling Podcast episode number 47. So we'll be back at it again next week for episode 48.
We are 3 away from 50. Holy shit!
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Even though we do have a little bit more, but then again, all that good stuff. But
honestly, forget the audio version of this show because that's cringy. Don't watch that. Don't even listen to it. Screw that show.
Yeah, that was just something.
This version is the one that matters.
Okay.
Me trying to talk to myself, and I'm like talking all monotone and shit.
Yeah, well, thank God I brought you on in 6 months and on this YouTube journey, bro.
Bro, you said, bro, I was like, you're the first one I told because we were doing this show on the audio version. He goes, and we were like, we peaked because we hit like maybe like 5 listeners, and then we just like had no listeners for the rest of that time.
Yeah.
I'm like, we peaked, and you're like, yeah, we did, man. He goes, and then he goes, want to go to YouTube? I go, why? He was like, there's a bigger reach on YouTube. I go, yeah, you're right. So we just went to YouTube and we ran right into this moment right here.
Yeah,
over 1,000 subs. Thank you guys. We love you guys for that.
Almost at 270 on the All Star Sports Network. Make sure you check the link down below as well.
Almost at 270 there. Hardcore Sports Network. Thank you for the opportunity to even be on that network.
Oh, absolutely.
Also,
check
the creators that we collab with. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely.
The fans here. You guys are amazing. Even though we do push back at Damien, we like you, dude. You're awesome. Zach, my long-time buddy since we were kids, man. Yeah. Thank you for supporting me through this and supporting my buddy here through this and.
Absolutely, but yeah, like I say, hopefully
the journey continues, man.
Obviously, there's going to be nothing available tomorrow. Obviously, got work tomorrow, because I'm closing again.
I thought we were doing SmackDown tomorrow.
No, actually, I won't be available for SmackDown or what's today? Oh, that's
Thursday.
Shit, I am getting my days fucking mixed up. Oh my god! I think those dirty jokes kind of just clouded my fucking brain.
Yo, you got a lot of shit. You got a lot of dirty shit.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. It's gonna be another closing night again for me at Wendy's again.
Closing for you tonight.
11. Yeah, 5 to 11 again. So.
Damn. All right, no SmackDown tomorrow night.
And then
I told you I told you guys I was gonna cover the load, but I didn't know. Shut up. I was gonna cover for Rob, but I'm sorry, I can't finish shit. But I was gonna cover for Rob here to do SmackDown, but I forgot. Our other co-host is gonna be on vacation this week and next week, and also he's closing. He just told me he's closing.
Yeah,
so
closing tomorrow.
No SmackDown tomorrow.
So pretty much it's going to be a quick day off.
Quick day off.
We'll be
Day
back
off
at
for us. We've been working ourselves to the bone all week.
Yeah.
We had Monday Raw. We had Tuesday NXT.
Actually, surprisingly, I haven't really done NXT in quite a while because it's been kind of hard.
We didn't do NXT, so we had.
It's
Tuesday
been kind of hard to
off.
get. It's been kind of hard to get back into.
We did content 3 days out of the week.
So yeah. And you'll see it.
You guys asked for it. We always deliver, but we can't deliver tomorrow. We're sorry. It's just that my buddy has job obligations to attend to. He has to close at 11 o'clock. So
yeah, because
it's out of our control. So we're sorry about that. But I don't want to keep dragging. I don't want to keep dragging on. I keep rambling. So with that said,
appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys.
I didn't even do the outro. You interrupted the outro, bro. With that said, it's been the Intro to Me podcast. Now you can go.
Like Tyler said, it's been the Intro to Me podcast. Like I said, we'll be back at it again next week. But yeah, you'll see us again for more WNBA, NBA, and all that good stuff as well. And that being said, have a good night, everybody.
Peace.